what I know about Judy Garland, I could spend hours talking to you about her. I knew her near the end of her life, and we had a lot of laughs together because Judy was something quite different. I went to her home one day in the morning, about 10:30, and she hadn't gotten up yet, and they told her I was there, and she came out wearing this big garden hat that looked like a voile sombrero, you know, at 10:30 in the morning. And I had just heard from the maid that they had just taken over her house. They had foreclosed on her house. And while I'm talking to her, and we're kidding around, they come and take her car away. Yeah. So I said, geez, what can we do? We have to do something here. This can't go on this way. And she looked at me and she said, darling, behind every cloud is another cloud. She said, let's go have lunch. And we went down Sunset in a convertible, I remember, and we stopped at a light, and a big, enormous limousine pulled next to us. And the window went down, and this handsome head came out, no question about it. It was Elvis Presley, whom I didn't know, nor did she. And he said, Madam, you are the greatest entertainer in the world. And she was so pleased. She just lost her house. They took her car. And here's Elvis Presley saying, you are the greatest entertainer in the world. She said, oh, thank you, sir. So I leaned across and said, Elvis, I'm Jack Parr. And the window went right up. Well, that made Judy's day. She loved something like that to happen to me. She was extremely witty, which you don't know about. I remember one time we were talking about a movie star. I won't tell you who, no point in it. I said to Judy, isn't she a nymphomaniac? And Judy said, only if you can calm her down. When she was 15 years old, she made, you know, The Wizard of Oz. Well, you don't know. She was a 15-year-old kid, 14 or 15. And she told me this story. She said that those little munchkins, when she said they were a bunch of drunks, the little kids were there. She said they kept running around picking up her skirts and picking up her dresses. This 14-year-old girl had these little dwarfs picking up her skirts. And one said to her, he said, I would like to make love to you. And she says, well, if you do and I find out about it, I will. She was a great, great comic off the air. You don't know her as a talker, and that's what I know best about her. I do believe she was one of the world's greatest entertainers. Judy.
Can we talk tonight about silly little things?
Yes, anything you want. Anything you want.
This is, someone's going to call this, review this show, they'll say, Punchy and Judy. Now what, Phil? I know those cats, you know. But anyhow, what a great laugher.
Terrible.
She laughs, boy, at red ties, they say. She laughs like it all.
I laughed at this one.
Come on.
No.
Boy, you sure got over Norman Maine in a hurry, didn't you? Oh, boy. Hey, listen. She has the greatest stories, and this is one of the great talkers in show business, but no one ever heard her talk. I mean, no one professionally. Listen, tell them about the days at MGM. There's some of the stories about Mickey and Liz Taylor and those people. Just tell the stories you want to.
Well, I hardly know where to start.
Tell them what you said about Liz.
Well, no, it wasn't anything like that.
No.
As you know, she's this marvelous sort of femme fatale.
Yes.
I can always just remember her as a girl with a lot of chipmunks and horses, and she was only about 3 feet high and 2 years old at Metro. I can't imagine this marvelous sort of Cleopatra. She was, you know, that shows my age.
Well, Liz has grown up.
Yes?
Oh, yeah. But I laugh. She says, Liz, she always thinks of Liz Taylor with chipmunks.
Strange group, you know.
Well, yeah, what was in that group?
Well, it was a terrible classroom in the first place, when you think of all of us in one group. With Elizabeth Taylor in the schoolroom, you know, we went to school. There was Elizabeth Taylor, and we did, believe it or not, and Lana Turner, and Mickey Rooney, and Freddie Bartholomew, and me, and Deanna Durbin.
That was one room?
In one room, that was all it was. And
well, you all turned out swell. What happened at Metro? What did they do?
I don't, that was,
were you kids scared? Were you scared?
No, not at all. We were fine. Have you seen us since we've come out? We're a very peculiar group.
Tell me a story about Happy Harry.
Oh.
I know. Come on, they want to hear all the stuff I hear.
Oh, well, we did this, my two sisters and I did a tour in, throughout Washington and Oregon, all the rotten cities, all the little cities, not the main cities, and they wouldn't let us in. But we did, it was a tour, so the acts stayed together for about 6 weeks. And there was we followed a miserable comedian, most depressed comedian I've ever known, called Happy Harry. And he used to come on in two. You know what that means. The curtain is quite a ways back, so that there's a lot of room. And the music would start. His entrance music was sort of... There was only 3 pieces in the band. Only 3. There were piano, drums, and some violin or trumpet. So it was an empty pit with just 3 pieces in it. Now, Happy Harry would wait in back of the curtain, and the manager of the tour would make us wait all the way through Happy Harry's act to make sure we were ready, you know. So we watched this poor thing every night. And they'd play... And he'd break through and say, "Hello, everybody, this is Happy Harry." And he'd go on to the most terrible stories, and we were... Well, this one time, I think you would still want me to go?
Oh, yes.
Well, this one town we hit, they put him in 1 instead of 2, which meant he only had that much space, you know, between the pit and himself. So we were in the wings, as usual, the Gum Sisters, and when music went... And he went, "Hello, everybody," right in...
It's more.
He fractured his leg in 3 places very badly. And we were in the wings. Can I stand up?
Sure.
We were in the wings, just standing, and the manager said, "Go on!" So we had to sing Dinah. You know, we went, "Dinah, is there anyone?" And this poor thing in the pit was going...
You got a lovely knee. Do you know that? You always did have lovely
cover it a bit.
That dress is becoming a blouse, isn't it?
You know, it's amazing. I was just talking to the audience here. Is that I was once the youngest radio announcer in the country. When I was 16 years old, I had a terrible impediment in my speech, and despite that, I've been in this business all my life, and I still have the stutter and stammer, but it's too late to give the money back now, you know. Listen, Judy and I would get talking and forget we had other guests on the show. And one time, Judy and I talked for 40 minutes. She just fascinated me, and we forgot we had a guest backstage. It was one of those goosey nights where everything worked. No matter what I did or what I said, it was a scream, or what she did. The thing was, I wanted her to sing a certain song. She didn't want to sing it because she didn't know it. She said, "I will sing it if you hold the cue cards," meaning if I would help her, because it was partly in French. And she and Goulet sang, and I decided impishly to turn the cue cards around. And, oh, don't say, "Oh, it's funny." Here it is.
Musette, my heart for you is one big throb.
Jean-Paul, my love for you is formidable. Your smile starts the day with a bright and gay bonjour.
Your laugh is Alain, and your voice is
you we were kittens. You were mine.
Today, you made my feline heart beat.